Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Procrastinator's Pit Stop. I am sitting here with Ilia Rozman, an AI expert and founder of Rosman Experts Limited, and he has empowered hundreds of businesses worldwide through cutting-edge machine learning solutions and AI-based influencer projects that blend technology with social impact. As a tech columnist for one of Israel's largest newspapers and a champion of innovation, he exemplifies resilience and inspires entrepreneurs to embrace AI for meaningful growth. Ilya, welcome to the show.
Hi, Chris. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm great, and thank you so much for being on the show. We have some really interesting topics to cover,
Yeah.
but before we do have an icebreaker on the show, and the question for you today is, which cartoon character do you resonate with the most, and why?
Okay, so I think my choose will be Casper because I love to sit in crowded places, and when people are talking and talking, I always try to make the most of it. So I try to be the invisible man. So it will be like more database for me, and instead talking too much, so it's much more better.
Okay, interesting. I like it. Casper, the friendly ghost.
Of course.
I like it. So, before we dive right into it, again, this is such an interesting topic because right now it is. I'm not going to say it's controversial, but there is a lot of procrastination that revolves around AI, both on the side that maybe we don't know how to use it, so we're kind of scared of it, so we don't look into it. Or the other one is there's just so many tools that there's so many available that we just don't know where to start. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your amazing developments and tell us what we're missing?
Okay, so first of all, I'm working inside my business right now 10 years. I'm providing consulting to businesses. It started from e-commerce, and then 1 year ago, I just finished Microsoft machine learning certification. And after that, I started to think much more in bigger way. What I saw that there is a lot of, as you explained, a lot of fear from the machine because not a lot of people understand what the value that the machines can bring us. And yes, it's very, very important for us also to be responsible to the things that we are creating. So my journey was started with the AI communities by simply starting from what people need. Like I started to think what I needed for my business. And it was all about, first of all, my SEO website, and I needed to go more organically. And I spend a lot of money on ads, and I tried to maintain all what I'm doing and started to build tools for it, my private tools. So first of all, I started to create an automation that uh, going to a website and creating automation by blogs. And this is actually provide us organic promotion by steroids because what we saw is like, as I explained, I had around 5, 6 people who work with SEO in the past 10 years. And every month I paid enormous prices for, I don't know, I always didn't see my niche going to the first pages. It will never happen. So once I started with the machine learning and started to see that the blogs are written in the same exact structure as Google like it. And I saw that the index of the blogs are started to go very, very, very in high quantity approval. So I understand this is going in very, very good situation. So what I did, I just started to promote this actual tool to businesses. And the first business that was come to out to me, it was the investment company that they are was also spending a lot of money on ads, a lot of money on Google campaigns, and they wanted to reduce this money. And what we are created for them, it's a white label website with organic promotion. And what we did is actual provided a call action to the company of the investment. And what we're seeing after 2 or 3 months that we had a lot of organic movement in this website. And actually it was a great success for me and for this company, because we reduced a lot of money by creating this blog and articles and providing them value by reading, and actual got them read and also wanted to check, and they got actual leads from it. So once I understood that I can create by myself and with one person, or I don't need any big companies for it. I don't need like 10, 15, or 20 people. So we dived into another project. I think this is the most unique project today in the social impact AI communities. We created a AI agency, full 100% influencers that created and generated by AI. But we didn't want to make it by, everybody do this nude stuff and everybody do this like how to get more viral. Of course, that it's something that's working, but I wanted to go this to another section. So what I created was the first AI Down syndrome influencer. What they tried to make is a social awareness with the AI, because I wanted to go to a place that machine learning is here. When you work with responsible way, you actually can make good stuff and can actually bring a lot of value to this. So after just 4 months, we had like 30K followers in Instagram, and we understood that was a unique story. We got interviewed by a lot of podcasts and by a lot of articles, CEO magazine and stuff like that. And after that, we created more three AI influencers. I wanted to create my own story. My mother had cancer, so I wanted to create also an AI influencer that talking only about cancer. And it was like awareness to a cancer sickness and how to make it more happier and more like more in a better way. So it was also a successful thing. It was like 2K after I think 2 months or 3 months, and we created another influencer that have like a albino problem and also a red hat. So she's very unique, and it's a place that people go into a shyness. They are going when they have this kind of stuff. They are most of them very shy. So what I'm trying to do is to show the world that we don't need to be shy. It's a person, whatever it's a sickness or any other problem. We have all problems in this specific way or another. So after we created this for AI influencers, that was a great value to us. We started also to get collaborations from clinics, from people that making courses about these topics, like how to grow your son with Down syndrome and stuff like that. So we always getting more collabs, and we are going very good with this business. And that's all. As for now, we started also to make a commercials with AI, and this is what we're aiming for right now. But this is the specific topic what I'm doing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, and it's certainly exciting. So these influencers are 100% AI generated. There was no real person's face or anything used, or nothing like that.
It's picture 100% AI, and then it goes to a Kling or any other tool that creating the video, and we are creating the environment and all what's needed, and yeah, it's going well.
And how long does it take you to make a character like that?
For example, we had like with the first Down syndrome influencer, we wanted to make this as much as close to Down syndrome. And when we are started to create this like half a year ago, and the tools was not like today. So we tried to make a unique face that have some problems in the eyes that showing the Down syndrome problem. But eventually, like I think the first picture took us like around 2 hours. And after that, it was only a training to the machine. It was much more easier. It's only to create different environments, different clothes, and different situations.
And are these AI avatars? Are they completely autonomous, or do you need to interact with them?
Half of them by fully automation. So it means that we are checking the images and the videos before we are listing them to the automations because we don't want any mistakes. But eventually it's going by automation. And I think this is the way right now. This is the most, I think, value to the time because as I don't interrupt, I can do a lot of things that I can invest more.
And what do you say? What do you think was your biggest challenge in rolling out that first model?
Okay, so I think the idea was the biggest challenge. What I tried to create is I saw that the AI influencers that have in all the platforms. Today we have a lot of AI influencers that actual avatars or no, but they are all eventually going to the same way, how to get more viral. And they open like a private channel and then nude stuff by subscription. I didn't want to go to this topic. I wanted to take AI and to show the world from my side how we can make good stuff and how we can maintain good stuff, even when we can create other stuff also.
Would you be interested in showing our viewers by a screen shares an example of what it looks like?
Of course, I will just click a share screen. Okay, so yeah, this one. Okay, so when we go to, I will show you, let's go to Lisa and then we can, oh, sorry. Okay, so this one, as you can see, we took merchandise from Adidas and put it on Zoe. Zoe, this is the albino redhead. And Luisa, this is Luisa eventually. Let's say something like that. And from better view, like, we are trying to make it very, very like transparent to show the world that we don't need to do any crazy stuff to get views or viral or any other stuff. As you can see, she have like 35K followers right now. And also I can show you another couple of examples. Emma. Okay, so this is Zoe, the redhead. And okay, she have more specific videos that more, let's say, like, yeah, so we are trying to make it as good as we can. As you see, we don't have any private connections or any stuff like that. So here is Emma, another influencer. She is more on the fitness and more on the sports and stuff like that. But yeah, we have a good results on these 4 AI influencers. And this is Maria, the cancer warrior. As you see, cancer sickness warrior. Okay. And she are making stuff like that. And it's all written and explained that it's an AI, of course. We are not making any scams or people to show that it's not true or something like that. So it's very important also.
Well, that's absolutely amazing, and the applications. I mean, we're obviously advancing very fast. The question I have for you too is when people are interacting and giving feedback, are they concerned that it's an AI? Are they even care?
To be honest, I get on the 4 of them a lot of friends requests from men because actually people are still don't understand it's AI, even if it's like written and all. But the people that understood it, it's the companies that are DM us for collabs and stuff like that. They eventually understood the way that we are working. The comments mostly are friends requests and hi, how are you doing? And can I meet you? Or stuff like that.
Hmm. Interesting. I could see where a company could have an influencer rather than a spokesperson maybe in the future. But Has anybody approached you and asked to do like a an AI version of themselves where they would make their own videos and things? Or
Yeah, we are, as I told you, that we are working also on the side of commercials. So we are created faces in Israel. We have like government people that working inside the government. So there was requesting some videos with the faces. Like in these sections, they was asking for kids videos because they wanted to get the kids' reaction. So specifically, they are asked us to go on Shrek stuff, and we took the person and created him by Shrek, like green and like with his face, and it was also a good stuff. I can show you also my private account that it will be also to show you the amazing commercials that we are creating right now. It's also stuff that's really mind blowing. I get a lot of comments on this. If I can also share, I will share
for
for
sure.
1 second. I think it will be also a good for people to see. Okay, so for example, here we're talking about it's all AI 100%.
That is 100% everything. The bottle spray, the smoke, everything. Okay, interesting. And
We
when was
took
that
also
commercial made?
like for example stuff like that. We are very into future in space. This is amazing commercial for future airport in Dubai. We took the environment of Dubai and tried to maintain it with the future. It was also an epic video. As you see, also the quality are very. And also, I can show you this one because it was amazing success for us. Maybe it will be better here. Yeah. So this is what we're actually doing right now.
Those are really amazing. Like absolutely everything's AI generated, right?
Yeah.
Everything down to the smoke. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
And how long does it take you to produce one of those?
Okay. So we have like fast results. One video take like 4 or 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. And so just to put that in perspective, we're talking a 30 second to 2 minute.
Yeah, we are working by 30 seconds until 1 minute because we are working on the short section.
And in traditional filming in cinema, that this would take a couple of weeks, probably, right?
It's not only a couple of weeks; it's also an investment that costs, I think, double 20.
And so a turnaround time is you can make one of these videos in 4 to 5 hours. So I guess my question to you becomes this, and this is a question that comes up quite a bit. When we're able to have access to these AI tools and we're able to create these videos within 4 to 5 hours.
Okay, so I think the question is all about what you are familiar with, because what was my start, it was 1.5 year ago. It's just 1.5 year ago. I started with ChatGPT, and this was the start. After that, I was familiar with Luma and Runway and Kling and Midjourney, and I understood that the things are much more easier. And the producing right now in this like 2 months, recent 2 months, are crazy. Like it's really fast. We can generate a lot of scenes by fast way, but we're trying to maintain a simple script because if we going and try to be more like smarter and more like trying to make it more unique, it's always going to the way that we need to cut and edit and cut and edit. So we're trying to make it as simple as we can. As you can see, the scenes are very, very simple.
And all these advancements, like these commercials, you say these were in the past couple of months only?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We dived into the commercials because we see that the big companies are still investing enormous amounts of creating not even close, maybe, the quality that we produce. We saw a lot of companies that providing very poor videos with crazy amount of investments. So this is what we are trying to see. I'm not trying to maintain like to get monetized with these videos. I try to tag the companies and to show them, here you go, Google Boss commercial, 100% AI with like much more easier and much more funner, and you can go to the sky. It's like limitless.
So do you think at maybe in the next few years might be too long, but do you think that at some point we'll see full movies, like 2 hour long movies, like you were saying, Shrek or something else similar?
Yeah, I think this is what we are going into. I think at least the fantasy movies, and also like, I don't know, to be honest, like I know the cartoons are already working with AI. Like they are generated long stories and stuff like that. But I also saw a lot of good creations of 10 and 15 and half an hour that was mind blowing. It's very, very hard it's very hard to follow the characters and to make a story, a specific story. So I think it's a matter of time. Yeah.
So when you say it's difficult for the AI to follow, it's difficult for the AI to follow the story, you mean, or it's difficult for it to generate the story?
Like if we are creating a big story, it will need to be like around 100 pictures. We need to get a lot of good pictures to make them live. And to make them live, we need to use an AI tool that not always gave us what we are asking for. So it's not like we are working with a director and we are telling him, I want 1, 2, 3, and it will be done. We are need to request differently. We need to write differently. We need to ask something like more differently. So each time we are learning also, always we are learning and learning. It's crazy.
Have you seen the language since you've been working with AI? Have you seen it evolve, comparing it to almost like talking to a toddler versus talking to a 5 or 6 year old now?
It's it's just the specific thing that you said right now. It's 100% what people need to understand. If you're talking to the machine, you need to explain all. So it means that if you think that you are talking with a 3 years old, this is what you need to explain. It's the same thing, because if we are missing one word, it can be like total mess. So it's all need to be in structure. The prompt need to be very exactly in the same way that we are needed. And if the prompt are not working, we need to find where is the problem. So it's also like it's a lot of work, but specifically right now, what we are doing, we're not generating long stuff because it will take us a lot of time, and we are creating more sample and teasers. But eventually, I think in like couple of months, we will be ready also to work on long stories.
And how frequent are the hallucinations with the AI with the AI when you type it out? I'll give you an example. When I typed in, I was playing with Sora, and I said I want two dogs playing catch, and it did a pretty good job right up until the dogs collided, and all of a sudden the dog had two butts.
Yeah, yeah. This is the exactly thing that I'm talking about by editing and cutting. So if you took the beginning and cut it in the middle, probably you have good scene. But if you didn't cut it, so probably it will be a mess. So this is the editing section that you need to see the result. You need to understand when it get mess, and it get mess. It get mess a lot because the machine are not 100% specifically designed to create a premium 100% movie. The characters are combined, and the fingers and the walking, and also in our teasers we have also such results. We see some lags and stuff like that, but sometimes we also leave them because we still want to show that we are also learning. We are not professionals. It's all okay. We are in the world that right now everybody is learning and learning and learning. So to be honest, I think when it comes to mess around with AI, you can go ahead and mess around all the day. But if you go a specific result and you see that, yes, I created this dog and it's a good scene by 5 seconds, I can take it and create more stuff like that and combine.
And just talking about the future and how fast we're moving, what's an aspect that's coming up that you're excited about?
Okay, I think the most exciting thing right now already happening, it's the robot stuff. I think, like, for example, today we are using Roomba or any iRobot that cleaning our house, a plate that moving like a vacuum. So I think like in 3 years, we will use a person, a robot that will clean our house and will make the half of the duty that we can need to make. And I think this is very exciting, but also there is a dangerous thing that everybody afraid from it, that sometimes this machine will turn around and we will find ourselves like in a war. This can also happen. I don't know for sure.
Well, actually, you touched on something there too, that there are more and more people that are talking to AIs as friends, right? And one of the advancements they were talking about was not only having the robot that would do dishes and I think laundry or something, is that you'd be able to download a personality into it. So you could download a celebrity or someone else or make a completely new one. Is that the kind of thing that you think we're heading towards in those 5 years then?
Yeah, I think we already, I already know for sure from people that working in Silicon Valley that we are in the humanity, we already succeed to make the scene in real life of the metrics that he are sitting on the bed and they are putting him like a cable and then he learned kung fu by second. So this is something that will be. I think this is something that already been trying to make it in our world. And I heard by friends that working in Silicon Valley that they heard that some freaky stuff are happening there.
So you think that someday we could have a little chip in our head and we could have an AI assistant right in our head?
Probably this is the way that I think the most richest people think about changing the world to get a better mind, or like I heard that I understood that our brain not working by 100% of full the value. So there is places for improvement. So maybe this is the place.
Interesting. And where you talked about AI and how it's going to automate our maybe our postings or it's our spokesperson, but is there a worry that we might get into an AI sort of race where you say I put out 10 pieces of content today. Oh yeah, well I'm going to make mine do 20. Well, I'm going to make mine do 40. I'm going to make mine do 80.
This is right now what's happening already. I know from big customers that I'm working on US that big companies started to make posts each day by quantity of 16, 24 amounts that we didn't even think that it's possible to make daily. But eventually, when it comes to a social media, it's all about content. Like if you're providing the content, there is a possibility that more people will see it. This is how it works. So for big companies that was working with 20 people, hired 20 people for social media's worried, and right now they are working with 2 or 3 bots that creating the same value. It's something that bring a lot of value to big companies.
Well, Ilia, this is certainly exciting times, and this has been an really exciting conversation. We are coming up pretty close to the time. Is there anything that you wish I would have asked but didn't ask, or anything you feel that we should have covered that we didn't cover today?
I think the most important thing, you covered all. I appreciate this. You asked great questions, but I think the most important thing for us is to make it responsible, to work by responsibility. I suggest, I think from my side, AI use, a lot of tools need to be monetized to 18 for the aging, because what kid with a kid mind can do with like 16 years old, it can rule people, like people life. We saw a lot of examples, for example, that in classroom, kids was creating the face of the kid in a different situation. It was like, is terrified. So this is what I think from my side, because today kids are really have this control or on anything. So my kid are like 4 years old. He's taking the iPad. Like I didn't know what iPad until like 18 years old. So this is crazy for us also.
And you raise an interesting question. It's like a genie in a bottle. I mean, once you let it out, how are you going to be able to control that? But that's what you're saying, is we need to be mindful of how we're programming, right?
Yeah. It's very important that we are still control and explain our kids how to work with this. What is the risks behind this? That it's not always true, and it can be a lot of false things. Kids not understanding this, and I think this is most important thing right now, because it's spread like craziness.
No, you raise a really big point. I mean, I remember back in the 90s, they talked about Power Rangers and Bugs Bunny, and kids were repeating trying to jump off a roof or do backflips into a pool.
Yeah.
And that was when it didn't look real. So now you're right. We may need to be careful with that.
Very careful.
Well, Ilia, it was a great conversation. Thank you so much for showing us and sharing with us. Just before we go, what is the best way for our listeners to reach out to you and get in touch?
First of all, my social medias are always open, Ilia Rozman, as it's written. And also, you can guys find me on my website at rosmanexperts.com.
Excellent. And to all our listeners, we are going to have that in the show notes for you so that you don't have to worry about, getting a pen and paper. Well, Ilia, just once again, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for your time. And to all our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And just remember, if you can't find that motivation or inspiration for yourself today, maybe just go out and try to be that motivation and inspiration for someone else. And we'll see you again next time.
Thank you.